If you asked us how to break down an underground concrete shelter 50 feet under the ground, what would be our plan? It's a strange question, for sure. Thinking about where to begin with such a question is quite confusing. Shelters used by the military that are deep under mountains or buried under lots of strong concrete are a big challenge. These facilities house vital command centers, ammunition depots, and research labs. To take them out, you need special bombs that can go through the ground or concrete to hit these tough buildings. These kinds of bombs are called bunker busters. The United States Air Force faced this exact tough spot during Operation Desert Storm. They needed to get into and destroy a shelter that was hiding Iraq's top spies and military leaders. No one had tried to do something like this before, and there wasn't any weapon available that could do the job. Leave it to science and man's ingenuity to come up with a new kind of bomb. This bomb was made in just 4 weeks and was powerful enough to go through 50 feet of ground and break up a concrete shelter. This is the powerful bomb that forced Saddam Hussein to give up and surrender. Here it is, the Bunker Buster Guided Bomb Unit 28, or simply the GBU-28. But before we go further, what do you say to a quick lesson in history? By the way, if you are new here, don't forget to subscribe to never miss out on the latest uploads and updates. Saddam Hussein, former revolutionary and 5th president of Iraq, launched an invasion of Kuwait in August 1990. The goal was to occupy and annex Kuwait to gain access to the country's vast oil reserves. Moreover, this move was Saddam's way of erasing the debts incurred by Iraq, notably from the loans provided by Kuwait to finance the Iran-Iraq War in the 1980s. In response, the international community imposed economic sanctions on Iraq, which were ultimately ineffective in reversing the invasion. This led the United States and a coalition of 35 other countries to take military action. The coalition initiated a series of air campaigns targeting key locations to cripple Iraq's military capabilities. Despite these efforts, the operation faced challenges as Iraqi forces utilized fortifications, including the strategic use of bunkers, complicating the coalition's military objectives. Some intelligence reports suggested that in the area around Baghdad, there were roughly 40 bunkers buried between 30 to 50 feet beneath the surface. These strongholds were made up of linked concrete rooms that served as command centers for thousands of military personnel. They were built with concrete walls 2 feet thick and were filled with enough supplies to support the people inside for a long time. However, even the powerful bombs designed to destroy bunkers, like the BLU-109, weren't able to penetrate these underground bunkers. These bombs are specifically designed to smash through 4 to 6 feet of solid concrete. But because these bunkers were located so far beneath the earth, the BLU-109 bombs couldn't reach them, rendering them ineffective for this particular challenge. The coalition needed a powerful weapon, and they needed it fast. For the task, the U.S. Air Force mobilized a team including the Air Force Research Laboratory and defense contractor Raytheon. The research team worked under pressing time constraints to produce a weapon capable of penetrating the deep underground bunkers that protected Iraqi command centers. The team looked at many ideas, from making a stronger version of the BLU-109 bomb to using very fast unmanned planes. However, the team had a limited time frame, and the development of these ideas would take months, which they didn't have. Faced with the urgent need for a solution, the team proposed the idea of using an existing ordnance with a heavier, more penetrating warhead capable of reaching underground bunkers. Thus, the idea was revisited to employ a high-altitude aircraft for bomb deployment. Engineers at Eglin Air Force Base in the United States proposed the development of a heavy bomb capable of being released from significant heights. This design would allow the bomb to accumulate enough kinetic energy during its descent to effectively breach and penetrate deeply into exceptionally fortified targets. It seemed like a good idea. Of course, dropping a bomb to pierce through 50 feet of rock is easier said than done. The engineers came up with 3 different plans to make this work. The first idea was to make the bomb heavier. This extra weight would make the bomb hit the ground harder, helping it break through soil or concrete. The second idea was to make the bomb thinner. A thinner bomb faces less resistance when it moves through the ground, letting it go deeper into the target. The last idea was to make the bomb move faster by adding a large rocket engine. This engine would give the bomb a strong push, helping it smash through any barriers and go further into the bunker. The biggest challenge was also producing the casing for the bomb. The explosive required a casing strong enough to pierce through the surface without destroying the bomb in the process. Luckily, The barrels from an 8-inch howitzer gun were made of just the right material for the bomb. The research team asked Watervliet Arsenal for help to turn howitzer barrels into bombs. At this point, the bomb's design has yet to be finalized, so the team was doing some serious crunch time in designing and constructing the bomb. Once finished, the GBU-28, also called Blue 113, was about 19 feet long and 14.5 inches wide, and it weighed around 4,400 pounds. It was built with a strong steel outer part that held about 650 pounds of a special explosive mix called tritonal. This mix, made of 80% TNT, a common explosive, and 20% aluminum powder, made the bomb much more powerful. Adding aluminum made the explosion stronger, making tritonal about 18% more powerful than TNT alone. At the forefront of the bomb, a laser guidance system was mounted. This system targeted a specific spot illuminated by a laser beam, with steering fins guiding the bomb to its precise location. Also, stabilizing fins at the rear ensured the bomb maintained its trajectory during descent. The GBU-28 worked based on simple physics ideas. Designed as a slender, heavy tube, it gained substantial speed and kinetic energy when dropped from an aircraft, functioning like a massive nail shot from a nail gun upon impact. The bomb, equipped with a delayed fuse for detonation after penetration, was intended to be loaded onto an F-111 or similar capable aircraft for deployment. As the bomb casing was being crafted, a dedicated team of engineers at Eglin Air Base was busy preparing for an ambitious test schedule. On February 24, 1991, an inert GBU-28 prototype was loaded onto an F-111 fighter and dropped over the desert terrain at the Tonopah Test Range, Nevada. The prototype effortlessly pierced through 100 feet of Earth. The second test was a rocket sled test at Holloman Air Force Base in New Mexico that proved that the bomb could penetrate over 20 feet of concrete. Needless to say, the top brass was very pleased with the GBU-28's incredible groundbreaking firepower, so much so that only 4 days later, the third and fourth rounds were immediately shipped to Saudi Arabia for their very first live operation. Iraq's higher-ups didn't know what was going to hit them. Iraq's forces would soon become acquainted with the U.S.'s newest and most formidable bunker buster. On February 27th, 2 of the latest GBU-28 bombs were rushed over to the action zone on a SE-141 transport aircraft. Tagging along was a weapons expert from the 431st Test and Evaluation Squadron, ready to teach the pilots of the 48th Tactical Fighter Wing how to use this new bomb. No more than 5 hours after touchdown, these bombs were mounted onto 2 F-111Fs, known as Cardinal 71 and 72. These aircrafts were equipped with advanced targeting capabilities, allowing them to laser designate targets for each other or independently guide their munitions. During the mission, the first jet just barely missed the intended target. So they quickly changed plans and sent Cardinal 72 to shift focus back to the primary objective. Post-mission intel showed that the second bomb successfully hit the target, with smoke coming out from it soon after, showing a successful detonation inside. With only a single round, the U.S. proved its dominance against Iraq. The GBU-28 was so powerful that it is rumored to have been the decisive strike that sealed Iraq's decision to surrender and retreat from Kuwait. True or not, one thing's crystal clear. When it comes to the GBU-28, there's nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. In 1999, during NATO's campaign in Yugoslavia, the U.S. Air Force employed the GBU-28 bomb with the aim of taking out key targets, such as the command center. It was again put to use in 2002 during Operation Enduring Freedom and the 2003 invasion of Iraq, where USAF F-15Es made effective use of it against hardened targets. By 2005, the bomb's capabilities had gained international recognition, leading Israel to become its first foreign buyer. In response to North Korea's nuclear provocations, the U.S. agreed in the same period to sell GBU-28 bombs to South Korea, aiming to strengthen its defense posture with deliveries stretching from 2010 to 2014. The GBU-28 continued to play a role in modern conflicts. As warfare evolves, so does technology. By the end of 2021, the U.S. Air Force was evaluating the GBU-72 Advanced 5K Penetrator. This new bomb, designed for even greater effectiveness against fortified underground sites, features a smart electronic fuse that activates at a precise location, indicating it may soon surpass the GBU-28 in terms of capability and preference for future missions.